AI is taking our jobs and replacing designers. It can generate thousands of layouts in seconds, posters, magazines, brand identities, things that normally would take you or me 3 coffees and a mild identity crisis done instantly. And honestly, some of them look annoyingly good. So today I'm going to be doing something a little bit reckless here, and I'm going to let AI design something better than I ever could. And then I'm gonna take its job. Today's video is brought to you by myself. Make sure you check out LYH Studio for cool design templates you can learn by yourself or purchase. It helps support the channel, and we're working on getting more resources up there for all of you guys. To make it worth your time, there's a free resume template just for visiting, because I know it's rough out there. But with that said, let's get right into the video. So I asked Midjourney to generate the most complex layered editorial layout, and this is what it gave me. It looks finished. It looks polished. It looks like a client would say, "Whoa, we love this. Can you do 13 more of these?" But here's the problem. This isn't really design. It's a picture. It's made up of just pixels. There's no grid, no paragraph style, no color system, no master pages. And when the client says something like, "Can you just make the colors pop a little bit more?" AI's response most likely is just gonna be, "Here's a brand new design." So here's the challenge. I'm going to rebuild this whole thing from scratch, turn it into something that is totally editable, and prove that designers aren't going anywhere, because making something look good is easy, but making it survive client feedback, well, that's design. Let's do this. So there was a lot of cool designs that were generated, but what I really like about this particular one is that it takes a lot of creativity, a lot of thinking to get to composition like this. There's pops of color, there's text that's organized in a hierarchy on the page, there's a really provocative model with some cool effects on it. And what I really like about this is actually that the pattern on the model's face turns into text. I think that's such a novel idea, and I would love to actually mimic this and incorporate it into some of the future designs. So it looks like a lot of the heavy hitting components, like the model and the pops of color, is done in Photoshop. So there's gonna be a lot of Photoshop involved. But before we do that, we need to get the base model's images first. The image really makes the entire layout. So I'm gonna do that with AI, of course. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to just snip a photo, and we're gonna go into ChatGPT, going to paste in the image, and we're gonna use Nano Banana to generate this image for us. So now that we have the prompt, the cool thing about Nano Banana is that we can put in reference images. So I'm gonna put this as a reference image, and also the prompt that we got from ChatGPT, and we'll see what it spits out for us. Might have to tweak it a little bit. Okay, I would say that's a pretty darn good result. Let's just do the same thing for the other picture. Okay, it looks pretty darn good. In the original, it's orange, but I kind of want to be able to adjust that. So I made it colorized, and this is what it spat out for me. So now that we have both of our base images, we're gonna set up the framework in Photoshop. And it looks like from our reference image that it's coming in at a A4 resolution. So I'm gonna just bet on that, and we're going to open Photoshop, go into print, select A4, and since I have 2 spreads, we're gonna double this into 420. Okay, so I'm dragging my reference image in here, scaling it up. So we're going to turn down the opacity on this guy, and we're going to just lock this layer. Then I'm going to get my image in, so my big reference image on the right. Okay, so for this next part, we're going to extend this image, because in the original, it looks like that this big image actually was a landscape format, and this other image is using the background as its background as well. So all we have to do is extend the background for this image. So I'm going to go into the selection tool, and then we're going to drag this out to the edge of the other image, and then we're going to fill and do a nice content aware fill. So natively in Photoshop, it's going to do a pretty good job of this for us. And while we're doing this, we might as well take care of the top part as well. Okay, so the next part is just cutting out the image for where we want the page number or some sort of highlight. But I think I have a better idea. And the idea is that we can isolate the model's hair so that it pops out on the top. And then if you notice on the bottom here in the reference image, the shoulder is cut off. What if we just include that shoulder on the other side of the page? So first we're going to select the subject here. Pretty good job. We do need to add some of the hair. So going to use the quick selection tool, see if we can get some of the hair in here. We're going to just select and mask this to the new layer with the layer mask. Here, we're going to use this to cut out the bottom part. So this one, we actually wanted to take out from both of these. So we're gonna create a mask. And then for the one on the top here, we just wanna cut out the background because we want the hair to be sticking out. So I'm going to drag out a rectangle here. And I'm only going to apply a mask on the bottom layer. And I'll show you what that kind of does. So you can see his hair is still sticking out here. We're going to select this, maybe a little bit more on the edge here. And then we're going to also just use this as a mask. It's the hair sticking out on the top. And we also have a shoulder that's kind of sticking out on the bottom here. It's gonna be great. All right, next up, we're putting in model 2. Same idea. Going to get the image, drag this out so that he's kind of in the same place where we want him. Rasterize the layer, select subject. Okay, we're going to select this and mask. New layer with layer mask. And then I'm just going to fix up the hair a tiny bit more here. We're going to adjust the layer so that it has a nice hue. Okay, so it has orange hue with kind of blue highlights. Let's see if we can recreate something like that. Radioactive orange, dude. Next, we're gonna go ahead and do just this blue bee. Okay, looks like the bee kind of taps out right with this color. Oh my goodness, I love that. And we will mask it out, but I'm going to paint on it just a little bit to get a nice effect. Ooh, I like that. Might as well give it some up here too, just to blur the edge a tiny bit. It does look like that there is some sort of texture that's going on above it. Honestly, it looks like to me, it's just corrugated cardboard. Let's see if we can make this work with corrugated cardboard. Let's see what happens if we give it a nice... Ooh, that's cool. Okay, let's try all of these. Okay, guys, I know the original texture doesn't look like this, but come on, this is so cool. I'm going to wipe this guy out. That, honestly, I think this version looks better than the original. What do you guys think? I really like that. Oh my god, who knew corrugated cardboard was the way to go? All right, now we just got to get a similar effect on this side, but I don't think there's another way other than kind of making all of these rectangles. So maybe we'll just go ahead and do that. Okay, guys, I'm cheating a little bit here, but I found a texture online that has a bunch of horizontal stripes. I think what's actually really important for this part of the process is we need to make the actual lines similar to the actual text. So I think it's important that we actually get the text in here first and then do the line work. We'll do nice text, let's say right here to match. Well, okay, let's just put in some text here. So this is 11 point font, guys. Can we match this up so that it's line by line? I think it's doable. Let's see. Oh, that looks pretty good. Delete all of this. I'm going to make a copy of this guy. We will merge these two together. I think overlay here would do really well for us. So let's do overlay, and then we can also just cut out some cool patterns. So just cut this out similar to how they've done it. How about that? Okay, we're again expanding on the concept a little bit. This all goes all the way up now. Yeah, so just did a little bit of a level adjustment on our bottom layer so that our text actually reads over here rather than just blend into the background. So, okay guys, I did another thing. While I was putting in this giant red ball and I was going through all of the different options, like, isn't this just so much cooler than like what it actually was before? Like, I feel like this is so much cooler than just having a red circle here. No, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? So as I'm going through this, there's so many things I'm like, wait, this can be better if I just do this or try this. And you know, it's resulted in a better result, actually. I think this is quite cool. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of doing any text in Photoshop, and you definitely shouldn't if you're actually gonna print this thing. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna put it into InDesign. All right, so I'm in InDesign. I created the same A4 facing pages format. For those of you that don't know this, you can drag a Photoshop file directly into your InDesign and it'll come in with all the layers. Once again, I'm getting my reference image in here, and then we can actually go ahead and put in our text. So I think what's important for us is to redo this text right here. Okay, great. Let's just create all the other text that's over here. Shouldn't take us too long. Okay, what do you guys think? This is a infinitely editable version of our AI generated layout. And I've taken some creative liberty, like adding some text up here that's the same color, changing the circle that's on the model's shoulders, having the model's shoulder pop out. And you know, just these things that I thought were a little bit better when I was creating the layout. So during the process, my human mind was like, oh, maybe this might work better. So I just did it. So this will live on our website with the link down in the description. It'll be the second link. The first one will be an Adobe affiliate link. If you want to get that, it will really help the channel. So this started out as an AI image, and now it's fully editable, scalable, client ready with the design system. AI made something that looked impressive, but we made stuff that's usable, and that's the difference. Do you think AI will eventually handle client revisions, or is interpreting, you just make the colors pop a little bit more, something only humans can survive? Let me know in the comments. I generally want to hear what you guys stand on this, and if you want to see more videos where we test AI against real design workflows, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like the video, because next time we might let it design an entire magazine and see what breaks.